Hey everyone. First of all, I want to acknowledge a sound that you might hear throughout the video. In other videos, people have said, it sounds like there's a cat purring somewhere in the background. I want you to know that it's actually drilling that has been happening in the building. That's what's going on. Alright, today's video is all about self-love. And self-love is something that we hear quite a bit. I know for me, it has felt very abstract, especially when I hear or read things that are like, just love yourself. And I'm like, but what do you mean, just love myself? That is so hard. That is like the work of a lifetime. Today, I'm going to be sharing 5 tangible things that I use when I'm not feeling great about myself. Self-love for me really is a practice. It's not this constant state of happiness. It is a series of small, nourishing actions that have been accumulated one step at a time. Before I get into everything, I just want to say if you have read The Artist's Way, which is a book that looks like this, then some of this stuff may be familiar to you. In The Artist's Way, one of the first things that you do is you write down blurts, which are negative thoughts that you have about yourself, and then you write down the opposite, which is essentially an affirmation. I am someone that has heard so much about like, write affirmations about yourself, and I'm like, hold up. You want me to just sit here while I'm in a negative headspace and just write down some nice things about myself? I can't even get to that place. So what I like about this exercise is that it has you start at the place that you know, which is the negative thoughts. And when I sat down to do this, I was like, cool, I know exactly all the horrible things that I think about myself. Once I had done that, it was so much easier for me to write the affirmations, because if I just go straight into writing affirmations, I don't believe them. And this makes it a lot more believable for me. I think it's really helpful to read those blurts out loud. I mean, just writing them down is pretty powerful, but saying them out loud makes you realize that, oh, I'm being so cruel to myself, and also this isn't really true. It made me realize how much I am hurting myself, sometimes without even recognizing it. But now when they bubble up in my head, I know what my lifeline is to the specific affirmation that counters that negative thought. And so while the thoughts don't completely go away, I can quiet them and they're not as loud. The next tool is saying what you mean and betraying yourself less. This is really about saying yes to things that you want to say yes to and saying no to things that you want to say no to. And this seems like a really simple, basic human concept, but I think it is so hard for so many of us, especially for women. I know for me, this has been an ongoing lesson. I would say yes to things that I didn't actually want to do, and I would say no to things that were absolutely perfect for me that I was afraid of. And this essentially is about protecting your energy. Like, it's the most valuable resource you have, because in a way, it really is the most valuable resource that you have. And we often expend our energy without even thinking about where it's going. And this exercise is being intentional and thoughtful about where your energy is going when you are spending it. What I was doing in the past when I would say yes to things I didn't want to do and no to things that I did want to do is I was chipping away at my soul and my energy every single time I did that. And it left me feeling completely depleted, totally unmotivated, and totally exhausted. But the more that I have honored my true yeses and my true nos, I have felt so much more energy, and I feel so much more pride within myself because I know that I'm honoring my deeper, true wants and needs. The third tool that I have to share with you is something that I've actually been doing for years. It is taking myself out on dates. So this means I'm going out with myself on my own. For me, this is really all about engaging with and listening to my inner child and letting her play. Some examples of dates that I have taken myself out on recently: I did a walking tour of Brooklyn Heights. One day I also decided that I wanted to go to Levon Bakery and try one of their chocolate chip cookies and then walk through the park and just see where the paths took me. I wasn't trying to be efficient. I was just like, this is what I want to do. This is where I feel my curiosity leading me, and I'm just going to follow that. The fourth tool that I have to share with you is writing down 5 things that comfort you and 5 things that nourish you and fill you up. And this really ties in with that depletion of energy, where even when we're doing things that we want to be doing, we're still expending a certain amount of energy. I find it helpful to have a list of 5 things that are comforting, especially when I feel like I have gone against my deeper self and I have betrayed myself, and 5 things that I know will fill me up and are replenishing. So then I can do one small nourishing act for myself every single day in the course of a week. And I can use this list if I need ideas. The 5th tool is all about celebrating yourself and giving yourself a pat on the back and really just letting yourself sit in those victories. I did this for the first time with the Artist's Way, and when I was writing down my victories, I realized, oh, this is something that I want to do for myself. And the reason why I like this so much, especially on a weekly basis, is that 1, it allows me to reflect on the week. Reflection for me in general is something that is really important, and especially on weeks that might have been a little bit more difficult. It's nice to reflect on those difficult moments, but then also really reflect and search for those small victories that happened and write those down and let those things be the things that get written into your history. I also think that recording these small victories gives me a sense of pride in myself and encourages me to keep that momentum going. For me, this wasn't about, oh, what do other people consider a victory? It was really reflecting on what felt good for me when I did that thing, where I felt like I really stood in my truest self position and did what I wanted to do in that moment. That's what these victories are really all about. So those are the 5 tools that I use when I feel like I have jumped into the swamp of negativity and I'm just swimming there. These things are really my lifeline back onto the path that I know I want to be on, and they are things that I really strive to practice regularly. That is going to be it for today. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel because I will have more videos coming your way. I will see you guys next time. Bye.